Okay, I've got the block spun over and you can see that there's the liner puller plate that we made, and we have the bolt with the needle bearing sitting up in there. It hasn't got the sides cut off it. If you put the rod in later, you can actually drop the plate in, then put the rod in, so that gives us a full circle to pull on. So we're using as much of the surface area as we can. So I'll just wind the engine over here, and I've been having a little bit of a play with this just to work out what was going to work for the camera and that. So here we are here on the top. So this is that bar with the needle bearings on it, or a little thrust bearing on it. Now this plate here, that's nothing more than a pipe flange that I picked up from the scrappies, and it's nice and smooth on one side. So the only reason I've put that there is I'm spreading the load of these gudgeon pins. These are probably old John Deere gudgeon pins, something like that I'd say. So that just spreads the load. So where they sit on the block here, I'm not marking it up. No other reason. Sometimes, well, whether you do this or not, it's up to you. But I had a little test run before just to test the theory and make sure it was going to work, and you can hear that. Now this is a 3/4 UNC thread, and this is a what, 5/8 bit of 5/8 plate I had around for something with a thread in it. My normal H-iron one I use, I buggered if I can find what I've done with it. So but that's coming quite easy. There's not a lot of effort in there pulling that liner. I'll probably run out of room and thread and all that sort of thing, I would imagine. So I'll pop that off and I'll get the nut gun. Now I know it's going nicely. Single hex socket up here. I'll bring you up a little bit more. So this thread here that I machined onto the, oh come off there. This hex here that I machined onto the 3/4 bar is half single hex, so I always try and use a single hex socket on it, so I've got the most drive. And we'll just give her a hit. So I'll take that off again. So now I just need to find some more spaces under here. So it's sort of like playing with Lego, isn't it? So that's all the travel there. I was hoping I had enough there, you know. Just hang on. Might have to find some more. There we go. Okay, so that's worked well. That's all you could expect really. Snug fit there, so we're not dragging up the side of the bore. The bore is just beautiful. I'll see if I can swing him over for you. Not that you'll probably see too much. I wonder, can I roll the camera and the bloody thing all at once? God, I'm getting handy. So there you go. That's one liner out. You can see the little lip around the top here, the recess. So we'll set up and we'll pull the others out. Okay, to pull the next one, that's the tool, and you remember we made that. It's actually that little washer's nearly stuck in there. There we go. Hey, snug fit, Lance. Okay, what I was going to show you is if we try and slide that down the bore there, of course we can't get it down. So a lot of liner pullers, you'll notice that they have the sides cut off, and for that, but with this, when you stick it down in there, being the full width, the full circle, you can get it in like that. So that's sitting right in under the, or in the liner, so that's as far as we can go there. So if I wind him over a little bit, you've got to have a few hands for this. So last time we had one of these and we put it there, look around the middle, just so we've got good clearance coming up there. Now I do have another couple of these, so because of the trouble we had towards the end there, we might just pop a few on. I bought them for cheap as chips at the bloody scrap dealer. So that should go there. Now, if I have that bloke there, we can probably start just with the tallest gudgeon pins. And as long as we have a full thread to start, I think we'll be okay. And I'm trying to line it all up in the centre there, just so it looks okay. I'll try it with the ratchet first. Oh, that's getting firm. All right, nut gun. That jarring of the nut gun certainly helps at times. So it looks like a hunk of lining blew out there. Let's have a look. Oh, the other one was a bit easier than that. Oh, get that off. I can't see whatever it was that popped out at me. Right, we'll go around this way. Okay, that was the bearing. So I'll just roll you around there. See if I can get in close for you. So the load on this one was too much for that bearing, and the bearing blew out on us. That's nasty. Must have been a bit of pressure there, eh? Yeah, so that's all that's gone on. Is that bearing has I might have to give him a little bit of a bump now to get him out. And that's what's left. Too much thrust on a thrust bearing. Bloody thing. Not to worry. I might take all that out of the way and just check. Now everything else looks all right down the hole. That seems to be sitting down the hole okay. I've had these really tight in the past as well, so I'll cut this broken piece off and we'll just run on that that one hardened race. It may blow up, but it doesn't matter. Okay, I've taken the broken needle or ball bearing race off the bottom there, and I've just got the washer there now. So I'll hit him up with the nut gun once more when I remember what I did with the bloody socket. There we go. And we'll see if we can get it coming. Now I did try with the plate upside down. I did give it a couple of bashes on the disc to see, and it was coming, so let's have a look. So that's a bit tight there now. I'll just see. Oh, that's tight. Okay. I gave it a couple of smacks earlier underneath. So I might try that again. I'll drop you down a bit so you can see what I'm up to, but you're not in the line of swinging. Okay, so I've got a big tapered punch, and I'm just going to give this a bit of a help along. And it may work with a bit of both. So that moved a little bit. So it's coming. So we've got to fight this one. Okay. Okay, this number 3, man, I had to fight that all the way. You know, I had to turn a bit, hammer a bit at the back, turn a bit, hammer a bit, and I thought, oh man. So I've got it now, but I had to fight it all the way. I'll just see how this next one goes, and we'll go from there. It should be okay, I'm thinking, but it didn't feel half bad. Okay, that's how they should be. That last one, man, it's rusty down the bore too, so I'm just not 100% sure what's going on there. And we'll give it another go. Okay, we'll pop them over here. Look at that. That's how they should be. That's number 3, man. She was tight. Well, pulling these liners has been a bit of an exercise. Number 4 and number 2, well, they just come out just with the rattle gun, just burp, burp, out they come. Number 3, I had to hold it tight with the rattle gun, put tension on it, then bash it down behind, then go again, and we finally got it out. But the bottom bearing blew up on the really tight one because it wasn't designed for that. Like this rod I'm using was made for the AD3.203 puller, and of course it's just made for wet liners, which are far easier to pull out than these fellas. But in doing them, doing this one here, I've just stripped the thread off the end here. Now, I used to have that little thrust bearing here and 5/8 UNF nut just sitting on the end there, Loctite it in place. So if I ever needed to replace the bearing, which I do of course, I could heat that up with the oxy, make the Loctite go to powder, undo it, pop the new ball thrust race on and go again. So anyway, doing this last liner, this is stripped, and the little race that I had left there, it's stuck in the little puller disc I made. But look, this one looks like it's a pretty easy one to do. So now I've got the puller disc in there. I'm not going to use this. I'm going to, I think I'll do a series, like this has been great for wet liners. I've used this on John Deere's, on, like wet liners on John Deere tractors, wet liners, TEA20s, TED20s, Fergie 35s, petrols and things like that. And for a wet liner puller, it's great. You just rattle them out and away they come. But it's obviously a boy doing a man's job doing this, and I should have a fine thread there to start with, but yeah, I'm just using what I had in stock. So what I'm going to do now is, now you can probably get away with this most of the time, but as you can see with some of mine, they didn't quite go as planned. Now you can just see down the bottom there, I've just got to have a quick look. Yep, you can see the bottom there. I'll try and tip him over a little bit more maybe. And I should be able to just thump this one out. So I'm still using that disc. I'm just belting shit out the back edge, but I might have to put it in the lathe and tidy it up again after this episode. I should put some safety glasses on at the very least. Okay, I have a longer punch now. I'm getting a bit short down there. So once we're out so far like that, so nothing cocks sideways at all, I'm just going from one side to the other a little bit. There we go. So there's the puller plate. It's still in good nick. Actually, the sizes on that were really good. It's a nice snug fit down the bore. Doesn't seem to want to rock and roll go sideways. There's the back surface where I belted it. And there's the blown apart bearing. So I'm going to revisit this. I do like the idea of a bearing there. This was just too tight for what I was doing with it. So perhaps I might just put a thrust plate or maybe just a couple of hardens, fairly hard steel washers anyway, down here. Put a recess for them and tidy up the back here. We've got plenty of meat to play with to tidy it up, and it's become more evident now. You can see the undercut I put in it. So this surface here keeps it central, and this big shoulder here, that's all the meat you got, so you're not distorting it out of shape. Now, this tool may not be the one we use for putting the liners in. I don't believe we've got enough shoulder there, so we might make another one yet. So there you go. That's how I got the liners, the dry liners, out of this Perkins AD3.203 engine. Probably didn't quite go as I planned, but look, that's mechanicking sometimes. And probably if I had made a special puller rod and all that, it would have gone better as well. So with a coarse thread, each turn you're trying to move the liner, say in this instance, you know, say 200,000ths of an inch, where with a fine thread, each turn only moves at a fraction of that, so you get more torque. So it's brought something to my attention. I've got a few engines to go with and to do up yet, so I may even go bigger. I'll just see what I can find in all thread, in threaded bar in UNF. Like probably something like inch would be all right, with on the top machine it to a 3/4 hex or something like that. So there you go. That's pulling the liners out. There's not much stopping us now, giving this block a big tidy up. I need to pop the Welsh plugs out, the freeze plugs, and I'm going to take it out the back and we're going to put the pressure cleaner into it, and I'll make up my mind then whether that's enough for cleaning or whether we actually need to take it into town and get it all hot tubbed and things like that. So there you go. That's pulling the liners out the long way.